Hey, good morning everyone and welcome to ShortSalePowerHour.com. My name's Fred Weaver, my partner Kevin Coffin's entering the picture. We're Group 4610,
What's going on?
Arizona's premier short sale team, and joined today by Derek Gilbert. What's up, man?
How's it going?
Good.
So Derek's a close friend of ours, has actually 2 real estate businesses, which I respect a lot. He runs a business here in the Phoenix area and also up in Colorado. What part of Colorado are you in now?
I'm in Centennial, Denver Tech Center, Keller Williams.
Okay.
And Ahwatukee, Sonoran.
Sweet. So give our audience. I know you watch the show once in a while, but give our audience 30 seconds about yourself. What you're doing now, what you've done when you got your license, any of that good stuff you want to share.
Well, I've been with Keller for I think just over 6 years now. Been with Sonoran Living the past 5 years. Last year, my family and I decided to relocate out to Colorado. Just change of scenery.
Get out of this weather.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, do some camping, some hiking, some snowboarding. All that non-business related fun stuff. So, so we headed out there. My wife gave me the ultimatum and said, I'm going to Denver and you can come if you want. So basically,
Sweet. Wow.
That's really the way it happened.
Sweet.
But,
who's the good negotiator in that family? All right.
Yeah. I guess those language of sales don't work so well in your family. But anyway, so we went to Colorado. I joined Keller Williams there. And so I've been running businesses in both places. I do REO and short sale in Arizona, and been doing a handful of that in Colorado. But
cool.
Right now, just back to basics, hitting bold, and
What made you? You just said short sale and REO. I know for a fact you've been doing REO for a while. You've been after it for a while. What made you jump into short sales?
And don't get yourself fired from all your REO asset managers out there. So
yeah. Well, I mean, short sales in comparison to REO, there's a couple of things that I prefer short sales over REO. One is you can control your business a lot better.
Yeah.
Well, with the REO stuff, you're in the business of working for a bank. So
basically a bank employee.
Yeah, which is kind of why I actually got out of corporate America. Now I find it funny that I'm back into it somehow. But there's just a higher profitability in short sales.
Sure.
You've got more control.
Can you talk about that? I mean, do you mind, I don't know if I'm asking too much, but do you mind exposing a little bit around what an average commission looks like for you on the REO end? I know it depends on who the asset manager is and that kind of stuff, but
well, I mean, our average commission on REOs has been only 1.6 to 2%, and out of that you've got overhead leverage and all that stuff, managing your files. You've got your software systems to track everything. So by the time it's all said and done, your actual net take home of an REO is probably pretty small. It's like 0.8 to 1% after all your overhead and paying out your referral fees to the asset management companies or whatnot.
So making 3 or even 3.5%.
So you like 3 or 3.5% on the short sale side better?
Yeah, for some reason I like to make more money.
Weird.
I don't know what it is, but yeah.
You sound like an entrepreneur.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Wow, that's weird.
Sweet.
Yeah.
One of the things I respect about you is that I know you haven't necessarily closed, let's say, hundreds and hundreds of short sales, but what I respect about you is that I know you could and you will close hundreds and hundreds of short sales because you're freaking a go-getter.
Yeah.
Like, you literally don't mind escalating a file. And I mean, do you have any favorite stories or anything you want to share with us about I know you had a deal recently. You were posting on Facebook. This was several months ago.
I remember I got blacked out on one of your escalation emails. That was amazing. And where they tried to take your commission and you basically fought for your 6% commission.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, something like that. It doesn't have to be that story, but something else. I've seen you get in there and fight like a bulldog, so. Yeah,
it's very rare if I've maybe 1 or 2 that I've ever not gotten full 6% on.
Yeah.
I won't stand for it. So I'll take it all the way to the top. And I mean, there's so many different resources that you can use to find your way to the top. I mean, the web is endless, you know.
Yeah.
And there's great resources on there. I forget the one.
Jigsaw.
Yeah, Jigsaw. All that kind of stuff. But yeah, I just they didn't want to pay 6%, and they just kept beating me on it because they said both of our agents were out of the same office and they weren't going to pay one office 6%.
But some of you guys have heard that one before.
Yeah, so I wasn't going to stand for that, and so I escalated it all the way up to the VP, and the VP said, well, it's just our policy. You're going to hear that over and over. Policy. Well, policies are more of guidelines, right? It's not necessarily a rule, it's a guideline, right? So they can always be adjusted. So You know, I took it all the way up, and I said, listen, I'm not going to close this file if you guys want to foreclose on it. You're treating us unfairly, and you're discriminating against two agents that are running separate businesses, and I can show you that each of us is getting paid separately. So when it got down to it, he just asked that we sent him over basically the DA from our office showing how the commission was split out to 3 one agent, 3 the other, or 3.5, 2.5, however he split it out, and you know, we were able to get it done. So their concern was that they just didn't want the broker getting all the commission. You know, they thought one person was getting all of it.
Yeah, because they actually
the way they look
understand
at
how
it,
brokerage runs.
Right. You know, they're not in real estate. They don't understand that stuff. They see one commission going to one brokerage. They don't
like
see
I'd
how
say,
it's
they
going.
don't even actually understand banking.
Yeah, they don't.
I mean, they don't understand loss mitigation. They don't understand.
They don't
mortgages.
understand profit and loss.
No, they understand loss.
Oh yeah, loss very
They
well.
experience loss.
Actually,
they actually
they're
don't
loss
understand.
Well, they might not
professionals.
understand it. They experience loss,
Yeah.
and they know how to ask for a handout. That's for
Right.
sure.
Yeah. No, they're actually experts at loss. I would say.
They're
They-
loss experts.
Yeah.
You were sharing with us earlier this morning about like one of your kind of responses when the bank wants you to take less than 6% commission, and around how you use your REO knowledge
Yeah.
to actually inform them that that's dumb. I mean,
Right.
do you mind like
Well, you know,
putting that into
one of the
words?
arguments that I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, objections that I've used when I've gotten the commission issue is, you know, I just briefly explained to whoever I'm working with on that you know, we deal with REOs for a number of different banks, and you know, we get paid 6% on that. Now, regardless of how much we get of that 6% is another story.
Still
because
cost
we might
them 6%.
But they're still paying 6%.
Yeah.
They're going to pay that 6% as a listing fee, and maybe some of that goes to an asset management company, or you got to pay a referral back, or however that is. But most of that time on that REO side, they're going to be paying 6%. And not only are they going to pay that 6%, but they're going to pay cash for keys. They're going to pay the lockouts to change the keys. They're going to pay for the trash out, the sales clean, the monthly utilities, the court costs. All that stuff starts adding up and up and up. And we know what those fees are because I see them every day. You know, they're going to pay $1,000 to kick that person out, or help them move along in their lives, or, you know, they're going to pay a couple $100 to rekey the house and do a sales clean. So that stuff adds up too. So they can either pay, and they're trying to discount you by 1%.
So you're just letting them know that you can pay them 6% or me 6%.
Well, they can either try to discount me to save 1% on a commission, or they can incur an additional 10 to 12% when the property goes to REO.
Right.
like it?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's hard to get a monkey to understand that, but I mean, somebody certainly at the, VP level or higher gets that.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said or higher.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to go higher.
But in the end, like you said, in the end, almost every deal you've ever done, you've been paid 6% commissions.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's
6%.
pretty impressive.
Yep.
I like it. Sweet.
So-
Well, thanks for coming
Appreciate
on.
it.
I think you've shared a couple great things today that I hope our viewers out there heard, guys. That I don't know, some of you may not be aware of this because you hear REO agents make less than 3%, so you might think, well, maybe at REO they don't have to pay 6%. But Derek's telling you the majority of the time they're paying 6%. It
They're
may be
always
divided
paying
out to
6%.
asset managers and other people and stuff like that, but they're still paying 6%. So there's no reason you shouldn't be fighting for your rightful commission and escalating up the chain to talk to whoever you have to do.
Yep.
So I like it. You know, one of the things we always say when people go, well, how do I, get the bank to do this? Tell them something they don't know. You said, I sent them my DA. I sent them the disbursement authorization from my office that said, this is where the money's going.
Right.
Like, it was stupid. It shouldn't have had to happen that way.
Yeah.
But
you still
gotta
did
do what you
something.
gotta do.
Yeah, you still showed them something.
And I
that
knew
they
it was
didn't.
irrelevant, but it got the job done.
whatever. Yeah. It did. So anyway, let's wrap it up. I think
All
you know
right.
how this goes. So we'll do it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Short sale power hour. Short sale power hour.
Crush it.